What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We live again in multiple locations. Multiple locations. What's up with y'all? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Where is everyone? Make sure you like and share and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe. Let's break the algorithm over on YouTube. I'm back on YouTube. What's going on, y'all? You guys see I'm still a little rusty, trying to get my groove back. I think I like this late hour. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, ear hustler? I'm back on YouTube. I'm back on YouTube. What's up, Catch My Whiff? I'm back on YouTube. What up? I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm super excited to be back. I'm super excited to be back streaming in multiple places because I got to get focused. And I think my focus is tied to me talking to people and interacting with y'all in these chats because sometimes we can get caught up. Yeah, I just, it's one of those late nights. I'm energetic because, it's Black History Month and I had a great day, a great Black day. And, it's one of my favorite Black History Days. The 3rd of February is always good because it's a reminder of a couple of things. One, we are one day closer to the day that Rush Limbaugh died. Should be a national holiday. And also, it is the day that, Jack Johnson became the first Black heavyweight champion. I was going to save that point. Until the end of the show because he became the first Black champion, and Jack Johnson is not anybody's champion. He was a Black man in 1903 that most Black men are afraid to be in 2026. To say that is something. Jack Johnson was a man. And he was doing crazy stuff to get himself killed, but they couldn't kill him, so they did what they always do. They create laws to break you down and lock you up and ruin you. So when you see Dave Chappelle talking about in his new special, as problematic as he is, when you see him talking about the magical Negro law, Jack Johnson is that champion he's talking about. Jack Johnson liked or loved white women, and that's what he dated. And he would take white women wherever you would go, like people who go across state lines. But they made it illegal for a Black man to go across state lines with a white woman. So Jack Johnson had to go, out of this country. And that was the end of his boxing career. Anyway, great champion. Jack Johnson is his name. Jack Johnson was his name. We should say his name. He was the famous boxer. It's the 3rd of February, and guess what? Folk are pretending. Folk out here capping, pretending that Donald Trump is not doing away with your democracy. Y'all don't want to talk about it. We got to talk about it, y'all. We got to talk about it. Donald Trump is literally, first of all, Donald Trump made 2 podcasters the head of the FBI. I don't know if y'all caught that. 2 podcasters from the right-wing blogosphere became the head of the FBI and the co-head of the FBI, or the assistant, the deputy. The deputy stepped away, Bongini, whatever his name is. Donald Trump went back on his podcast today or Monday, went on his podcast. And guess what Donald Trump said? For all you don't tread on me's. I'm telling you, all I want to do now is talk about those don't tread on me people. They capping. People don't care about being treaded on. They don't give a damn about their rights at all. As long as they can remain in their minds superior to people of color, as long as they are not put as equal or anything close to equal with people of color, as long as their whiteness is held as enough, as long as that is the standard at which we spend currency in this country, Those people don't give a damn about being treaded on. And for people that don't know what I'm talking about, if you've ever been driving and you've seen that flag that's yellow with a little rattlesnake in the left corner and it's got "Don't tread on me," it is these people who swear that they care about their constitutional rights. These so-called conservatives who love standing up for their constitutional rights, the freedom of speech, the right to carry arms, to be armed, the Second Amendment, First Amendment. All of these people who call Democrats weak because we stand up for other people, because we scream about injustices against those who are marginalized. Now we watch these white people be the snowflakes they talked about. Anyway, this "Don't Tread on Me" crowd didn't lose their mind when Donald Trump went on, listen to me, y'all, I need y'all to hear this. Donald Trump took his ass, that's right, on a podcast and said that he wants to nationalize. Republicans should nationalize elections. For those who don't know what nationalized election means, this is Donald Trump saying that the Republican parties at the federal level should take over the elections from state governments. Not all of them. He said 15 states. We're talking about states. He's talking about states that are controlled by Democrats. Why do you think that is? We know why. I'm putting water going everywhere. I'm so excited about this. I want to tell y'all better pay attention. Donald Trump is going to do away with your democracy while your ass is asleep. He's not playing. The Constitution is clear on less things than it's not when it comes to people's right to vote and who controls that vote. Article 1, Section 4, Clause 1, they call it the Election Clause. The Election Clause contemplates, means it talks about, it spells out, it explains how the states shall control elections. The state shall control not just the elections, the mannerism of elections. They should control the time, the place, and the manner at which elections happen in those jurisdictions. The state legislatures shall control them. So why are not people screaming about Donald Trump talking about taking over elections? For all those people who said we were crying wolf when we said Donald Trump was going to end America's democracy. Oh, he's not going to do any of that. You guys are wilding. Who the hell's wilding now? We're about to go to war with Iran because Donald Trump told a lie, and now he can't live with the fact that he told a lie and he's been exposed. So now he's ready to start war. What lie am I talking about? Do y'all remember last year when Donald Trump bombed Iran and it was a waste of millions, tens of millions of American dollars because he didn't destroy what he said he destroyed? And then he came back immediately, him and other people in his administration said they completely destroyed the nuclear capacity of Iran. And then the experts said maybe they set him back at best a couple months. So now he wants to say that if Iran does not do away with their ability to make a nuclear weapon, that he's ready to send Americans, send troops. Mind you, this is the president who dodged Vietnam because he had bone spurs, but he's ready to send Americans to war because his ego is broken, because he did not destroy Iran's nuclear capacity. He bombed a bunch of rocks. Catch my whiff, that's spot on. That's all he did. That's all he did. Multiple bombs on rocks. Because and first of all, let's be clear, because I refuse to paint this narrative like Israel and Donald Trump. And I'm not talking about Israeli people. I'm talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, racist, right-wing, murderous government. Just like Donald Trump's racist, right-wing, murderous government. That's what I'm talking about. I refuse to take the narrative that Iran has a nuclear weapon or even the ability to. Because that narrative is what they want us to say. So I refuse that because no one has confirmed that. No one is saying that but Donald Trump. So I refuse to say that because it gives him credence to carry on in this manner, to act reckless with American soldiers' lives. As if he didn't do that enough already with the deployment of American soldiers throughout American cities, which he spent about $2 billion out of the American coffers last year for deployments within the states. If this doesn't sound like fascism, we got a new militia in ICE, a militia that has not been properly trained how to police anyone, let alone American citizens, let alone walk down American streets. And then they're talking about doing away with qualified immunity and giving them total immunity, which they can't do. They can't do, but they're doing it. All of these things that Donald Trump can't do, we watch the federal government sit back. Congress, I'm talking about, Judicial Department, the branch, judicial branch. Just let him run amok with this country. Run amok with this country. Because we are talking about American. Y'all better wake up. I know it's late, but this is the realest black news you had all day. We have no time to play. We have no time to play. America ain't just looking like a mockery at home. It is a fact that we are absolutely the laughingstock of democracies. We have a president that's cozying up to dictators, kidnapping leaders from other nations and trying to pillage their natural resources for business gains in America. And people are still going to stores, retail giants, people still in line at Target, acting like it's business as usual. These large corporations are sitting around playing a role in the federal government, giving money or showing up and allowing ICE to, park and attack their workers, and people ain't holding them accountable. What happened to the spirit of protest that formed this nation, allegedly? What happened to the spirit of protest that said we would have no kings? Yet in 2026, there's a need to have multiple marches about no kings. I need y'all to take a moment, and if you're watching this video, share this video. If you've not subscribed and you're on YouTube, then subscribe. If you've not shared it on Facebook, share it. If you're on Twitter, wherever you are, do those things. First, like it first, then subscribe and follow in that order. Because I'm telling y'all right now, I'm over watching this bullshit news that continues to tell me I need to stand up for Don Lemon. Don Lemon got enough money to stand up for Don Lemon. We need to stand up for the right to speak, the First Amendment right. But that does not require people. And this is how I know our politics is lost. I received 3 or 4 emails in my inbox talking about stand up for Don Lemon. But ain't nobody talking about standing up for the black men who have been, for the entirety of our time in America, abused by the judicial system, the justice system, or the injustice system in this country. Nobody is talking about the fact that we're not naming that it wasn't just 2 white people killed by ICE. I don't have time to stand up for Don Lemon and other rich men. We are watching the federal government protect pedophiles. And that is not hyperbole. It is a real thing. It is a real thing. Someone literally said it was okay to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein. These people are watering down what this man did. Over 1,000 women who were not women when they were abused by him, children and young ladies as young as 13. As young as 13. And the federal government, these people have kids, nieces, nephews. And they don't seem to give a damn. They don't give a damn. You know who's in that document and who's not in that document? Ain't no black people in that document. Ain't no gay people in that document. Ain't no trans people in that document. They're all heterosexual white men. Rich heterosexual white men. You think that's got something to do with why they trying to make sure that something don't happen? Marjorie Taylor Greene said it out of her mouth. Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is not a progressive. This is not a leftist. This is not even a damn Democrat. This was the female version of Donald Trump before she wasn't the female version of Donald Trump. Said it out of her mouth. That Donald Trump told her she needs to stop because some of his friends, talking about the Epstein file, some of his friends would be hurt by it. There's a disgusting video going around the internet now showing Donald Trump and other men using the Miss Teen America pageant as a recruiting for this nasty shit they're into. Barack Obama put on a tan suit and did a press conference in his White House when he was president, and it was a scandal. They lost their damn mind. They said he didn't take the presidency serious. He's making a mockery of America because he put on a tan suit. Yet Donald Trump is mentioned more than 4,000 times in these Epstein documents. And these are the ones that haven't been completely blacked out. And the only names that keep coming out over and over and over and over again are the victims. They continue to make mistakes and expose these people who they should be protecting. The victims, names and information about them keep getting leaked, but nobody is making mistakes about these rich white men and their names. Michelle Obama hugged the Queen of England when she was the first lady, when they met. And white people lost their everlasting mind. You can't touch the Queen. It's not protocol. You're not supposed to touch your highness. Her highness. Kiss my highness. Fuck out of here. What made that woman great? Slavery? Her family got money from slavery, so she can't be touched? Come on, man, y'all tripping. Y'all goofy. Y'all beyond goofy if you believe that it's ever been about morals, if it's ever been about Christ, if you think it's ever been about the rule of law, if you ever think it's about crime, if you ever think it's been about the Constitution, if you ever think it's been about anything other than white supremacy, you are out of your effing minds. Because none of us can explain Americans' history and think that justice is what Americans are out for. None of us can explain American history and believe that equity is what we're out for. The only thing that can explain American history clear as day is white supremacy and America's love for it. It's as American as apple pie and baseball. White supremacy is. And that's what Donald Trump embodies. Y'all don't want to hear that. Unfortunate for you, if you're on this live, you're going to hear it. In 2026, nobody's telling the truth. Everybody's dancing around the bullshit. Everybody's dancing around the BS. Thanks, DJ. Everybody's dancing around it as if, oh, this is business as usual. How is this business as usual? I thought y'all love y'all Constitution. I thought y'all was more patriotic than the fireworks that y'all shot off on the 4th of July. I thought y'all love for the old glory from sea to shining sea. Thought y'all love this country. You can't love this country and love Donald Trump. You can't love this country and like Donald Trump. You can't love this country and support Donald Trump. That's just basic. It's basic. Everything America stands for, Donald Trump is the antithesis of it. It's period. You can't tell me you love this experiment that you call the oldest democratic republic in the nation in the history of human and civilizations. Yet, this one man is destroying it in your face, telling you to be sleep, be anti-woke. And you're doing it. You're doing it because he gave you the ability to be racist out loud like your ancestors were. And that's all you ever wanted. That's all you ever needed. That's the comfort you was looking for. You would starve as long as it meant Black people and brown people and gay people and trans people starve first. Black people and trans people and gay people and less able people. We used to not having. Y'all just got here. Niggerized. Niggerized. That's what Donald Trump is doing to America. He's making white people feel unsafe and unprotected. That's not my word. Dr. Cornel West said that after the bombing, after 9/11. White people finally felt what it means to be niggerized. Now another generation of white people are feeling it. Or about to feel it. This is why more than 50% of Americans say right now their lives were better under Joe Biden. Hell, we knew that anyway. We knew that anyway. The world knew that. The world knew that. But here's what has never happened in the history of humans and governments. This has never happened. A strong man has been in power, lost an election, came back in power, and then walked away. Donald Trump is on that term where you don't walk away from power, and we see him coalescing powers. We're watching him tear down democratic norms and making himself untouchable. He's taking money for his own coffers, just like other dictators do, other strong men. Like the dictator we ran out of Syria. Like the one that was locked up that Donald Trump freed. We're watching it right now. Taking money, just taking money. At the expense of who? At the expense of who? The government didn't have many programs to benefit Black people. We will suffer first, for sure, because Black people always do. The saying is, America get a cold, Black people get a flu. But the way Donald Trump is destroying the norm, not just the institutions, the economy, the order of business, which kind of propped up this nation. The way he's destroying the business standing of America outside of this country. The way that he's destroying the business standing of America on a global scale. The way that we see our I call them our embedded, these people that are just a part of us. The way he's destroying relationship with those allies for us. And Canada's, who's our largest trading partner? Mexico. UK, the EU, China. He's pushing people towards China. So we know China's economy was the fastest growing for a while, but then it had hit a period where it was slowing down. It was slowing down. It was stopping. Donald Trump is going to speed it up because we got people, companies, countries that we've been doing business with forever, looking to China to replace the instability they see over here in the Western world right now. And it does not help that Donald Trump think it's cute, him and Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance, to play coy about taking Greenland, which is a nation that had per capita more people die for our war. That's right. Those people lost more soldiers per capita fighting for America after America was bombed in 9/11. And we're playing with them like this. Y'all are okay with it. Y'all continue to shop in Target with your Gucci bags, with your Merces, with your oversized jeans. Y'all continue, but the world is watching in a way that will not be fixed just because this man is out of office. The what do we call it? The staying, the memory of Donald Trump will be longer than the 4 years. People will say that Americans can't be trusted because they elected this man twice. Americans can't be trusted. Hell, he's giving away the chips to Saudi, but that ain't just it. We watched it. We watched Qatar, who our military refused to trade with because of their relationship with China. We watched them give him a jet and then him start trading those secrets that we would not give them. We watched them give them to them. So this huge military that you all think is making us the most powerful nation in the world is jeopardized by Donald Trump and his loose lips. I don't know if y'all know, I'm from the hood. Loose lips sink ship. That's what the boys say. Whew. I feel for y'all. I feel for y'all. And the sad part about it is I'm supposed to be complaining tonight on tonight's news about how damn cold it is. How damn cold it is everywhere. That's what I'm supposed to be complaining about. How do you think I can't even complain about the cold weather because Americans' cold attitude towards democracy. And you can't tell me Americans don't have a cold attitude towards democracy. Because sitting out an election when Donald Trump's name is on the ballot says something about America as well. When you also vote for him and he win an election, it says something about Americans as well. We watch. Donald Trump literally is running America on Twitter. Or not Twitter, his version of Twitter, Truth. With lies. Lies. Remember, Barack Obama put on a brown suit and these people lost their everlasting mind. They call this a Christian nation. I know it's not a Christian nation. Most of the founders didn't care about Christianity. But, they call this a Christian nation. I don't see no Christian in this nation. I'm talking about in our government. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm keeping it a buck. I'm frustrated with everybody right now. I live in a black ass district in Eastern North Carolina. Our congressman is still showing up. A black Democrat is still showing up like a damn Republican, even though the Republicans spit in his face and drew his district so that made it easier so Republicans can win. And it's a district for all of my life. We've elected a black elected to represent us. That's not going to be the case if we turn out like we normally turn out in our district. And he's not helping. His name is Don Davis. He's not helping. He's not helping his case. because he's voting to give ICE more money. He's voting for Benjamin Netanyahu's government to receive more and more and more. And that type of blackness is the type of blackness we don't need in elected office. And we damn sure don't need it when Donald Trump is president, out here exploiting and making blacks seem more criminal than it ever did, simply because he's racist. Simply because he's racist. Have y'all seen any raids in Idaho, Iowa, or any of these white states? Even though we know Europeans are probably more likely to overstay their visas. Have you seen in any majority white neighborhoods, them rounding up or locking up 5-year-old kids because their parents overstayed their visas? Why is it that immigrant or illegal is synonymous with people of color? Unless, of course, it's Nicki Minaj, who don't have status herself, but she's out here capping for Donald Trump. And now we know and we understand why Nicki Minaj is out here riding Donald Trump's coattails. She's trying not to get deported at the expense of blackness. Everybody who follows Nicki Minaj should unfollow her. She's out here showing how anti-black she is. You better pay attention. You better pay attention. This whale money class, you get it firsthand view. Did you see some of the words in those documents? These rich people, did y'all see it? We should never use illegal. We should never use that as a term. People can't be illegal on stolen land. How the hell can white people call brown people who are from this land illegal when they stole this land from people that look like those brown people and then took the western half of this country from these brown people by force? And the only illegal people in America are white people, if we're being honest, unless illegality ends at a certain point. Because the way that white people came over here and killed damn near all of our native brothers and sisters, 75% of Native Americans died because of white people. Did you hear what I just said? You almost wiped out an entire people. You motherfuckers put smallpox in blankets and sent those people walking across the country, and you want me to be nice to y'all? What? What? Illegal? I wish I would catch somebody I know, somebody that calls me friend, someone that's close to me, calling anybody brown illegal. Illegal. Thanksgiving is illegal. Saying Christopher Columbus was fucking great at anything is illegal. What are we talking about? Yeah, we shouldn't use illegal. We shouldn't use felon. We shouldn't use any of it, because those terms break people who are victims of a racist system, not because these people are criminal or because they're less than or because they're a minority. It's because of white supremacy policies put them in positions that most white people would never be in. So when you say it, you should be talking about the system that put people in their way. Where's the energy where we criticize the system? Who's going to criticize the system? Who's going to talk shit to America about America? A country that created black laws to lock up black people. People didn't even know that North Carolina did not even have a damn prison before or during slavery. But after Reconstruction, after we allowed North Carolina back into the Union after they lost the war with the Confederates, and they rewrote the Constitution, they mandated that we have prisons in the Constitution, in the state. Come on, man. Why? So they can lock your ass up, so they can lease you back to the farm you came from. People would tell you, oh, black people are arrested for 50% of the murders committed in this country, but they won't say nothing about the number of black people exonerated. Why are black people 60% of those who are exonerated? Exonerated means wrongfully convicted. We are 60% of them, only 13% of the population. That tells you that we are over-policed and policed in a way that is illegal in itself. That's America, though. That ain't a broken system. That's just America being America. So when I see Donald Trump letting white men out of prison, when I see Donald Trump letting, pardoning all of the January 6th rioters, seditionists, when I see it, I just sit back and say, of course, because when didn't America let white people go for showing up like January 6th showed up? They've always walked away from that crime. Lynching was a thing you did on Saturday in your Sunday clothes with your kids, and you advertised it in the paper. The same clothes you went to worship God in, you went to hang a black man. And most of the time you hanging a black man, and the white man that committed the crime you're hanging a black man for is one of you standing right there next to you. And most of y'all knew that. I'm talking about those who wrongfully convicted black people. Those of you who got problems with DEI, scared of women in the pulpit. You weak motherfuckers I'm talking about. And then you don't want me to curse because it's unprofessional. Whiteness, not white people, whiteness. So those of you who subscribe to the idea that white is superior is unprofessional. To a motherfucker that ain't fool, you don't easily fool me. I'm also not out here looking for acceptance from you bastards. I know who you are. I know who you are. I know who you are. Yeah, Emmett Till was a disgusting moment. The sad part about it is he was one that the world knew about because his mother was brave enough to show the world what they did to her son. But there are other people younger than Emmett Till that was killed by America for being black. Read about Stanley in South Carolina. 12-year-old got the death penalty. He was so small that the fucking band to electrocute him couldn't even fit on his head. They killed him. And they knew he couldn't have done what they said he did. Raped and killed 2 white girls, both of them bigger than him. He was barely 30, 40 pounds, 12 years old. Youngest person in South Carolina history, America history, to get the death penalty probably. Think about that. That's what it means to be black. Talking about politics is a trigger for black men. It's traumatic experience. We have a learned history through our DNA that being loud and black will get you killed. Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, it don't matter how you take it. And all of them don't die that way. Some of them die like they did Paul Robeson. Get you to come back home. His name was George Stanley. It's get you to come back home from overseas, doing great work, playing Othello, helping build out the unions, the trade unions, trick you back home, and then take your passport and make sure that nobody hires you. That's how they killed Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson was a dynamic brother. The world don't talk about him. An actor. He played in the NFL. when NFL was a weekend job. An activist, lawyer, what Paul Robeson did every damn thing. And I just for the life of me, don't even understand it's I don't understand how we are what we are. Yeah. 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 It's 2026 and this is our America. Because people believe that the vote don't matter. People believe that they can sit back on their laurels and continue to say, well, it ain't affecting me. It is. It is. And it's going to affect you a lot more. And it's going to affect you a lot more. I'm sorry, I said he was 13, he was 14. 14. 14 years old. Read up on it. It's going to break your heart. So I would say read up on it in the middle of the day, not late at night, because it's going to break your heart. We don't talk about the nastiness that is America. All of the shit that this country is responsible for all over the world, not just here. Not just here. Go to Cuba and see how American policies destroy nations simply for not agreeing with what America says. Look what they did to Gaddafi. Look what they did to Iraq. Iraq was thriving. Gaddafi had set up Libya. Libya was one of the most literate schools. Everybody had a place to stay. And now look at it. Chaos. Chaos. Everything they said about Gaddafi, Donald Trump is doing. I don't know what to tell people. Those of us sitting back pretending like Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting at the table with Donald Trump's daughter and her husband, Jared Kushner. You sitting at the table with crooks at an organization that you guys, got sway over. It says something to me. You are your company. That's a fact. You are your company. If Donald Trump is stained by Jeffrey Epstein, then Jay-Z and Beyonce are stained by sitting at a table sitting beside Ivanka and Jared Kushner, who grifted the first administration for more than $2 billion. China gave Ivanka Trump how many patents during the first administration? There is no talented tenth going to save black people. W. Du Bois knew that. That's why he changed it. He thought of that idea and he also killed it before he died himself. Because he knew it was a reckless way to say or think about how black people would get free. He knew that we couldn't depend on people who cared more about proximity to whiteness and the comfort that it gave them than they did about their community or communities that look like them. What happened to the days where black people were radical in their music? And I'm not naive to believe that everybody ever spoke up on our behalf, even majority of black people. I'm not that naive. I know better than that. But I do know there was a time where conscience existed in our arts more than it does now. People say Ice out at the Grammys, and everybody in the Grammys stand up like that was a revolutionary shit. It's obvious that we don't need Ice. That ain't revolutionary. Revolutionary is calling out everybody in that room that's dealing with the federal government. That's revolutionary. Revolutionary is demanding that a Live Nation and every major network industry, all of them, anybody in the industry, label, denounce this government. That would be radical. Say that all concerts in this country will cease until this federal government cut their shit. Boycott that. Tell the artist to boycott that. That would be revolutionary. That's something to stand up about. Not going to the Grammys in your $10,000 outfit around your friends with their $10,000 outfits. Drinking your $700 damn glass of champagne. Giving yourselves claps on the back for standing saying Ice out. That ain't protecting nobody that's going to be attacked tomorrow by those ICE agents that are not out. Nobody ain't say shit about voting last night at the Grammys. Nobody ain't say nothing about how a black man just flipped a Republican district in Texas. Nobody ain't used that to say what's possible in Texas. Nobody ain't used to say, oh, if one black man just flipped a district that went for Donald Trump by 17 points and he won it by 14 points, 30 some points in less than 2 years, then imagine what Jasmine Crockett can do in her race for Senate if all you get out and vote. Why none of y'all super rich people at the Grammys ain't mentioned that? We're too easily impressed. And it's usually about people with big numbers. It's usually impressed by people. We're easily impressed by people who are not impressive. And that, to me, has to be the tragedy of the world. That has to be the tragedy. I just don't know what to tell y'all. I come up here every night wanting to tell y'all something. I feel like I'm a funny person. I got jokes. I be cracking jokes. I'm telling you, I think I'm a funny person, but ain't shit funny right now. The easiest way to tell Americans from any other so-called first world nation, I hate that term, I use it intentionally to cause stir in your heart. The easiest way to tell if we're American is because we can't talk 2 languages. Because we can't go to the doctor and not worry about losing our houses from health bills. Because we can't do science and math like other developed nations. That's the easiest way to tell if someone is American, and yet we still walk around with the biggest chest talking about how proud and exceptional we are. Exceptional at what? Exceptionally lazy and bad at protecting democracy. Don't tread on me means nothing. They've treaded on everything. At this point, they're pissing on your mom. They're pissing on your mom at this point. They're tap dancing on your dead folks' graves. Your ancestors have been laughed at. And you sitting silent, acting like nothing is wrong. Well, all of it is wrong. All of it. And I know your soul is telling you. So I'm telling you, The least you could do, the least you could do is pretend that you are serious about this upcoming election and get your ass out there and vote and take a bunch of people with you. And I know you've heard it in every flavor and every election before this one, but this is absolutely the most important election of all of our lives. Ain't a person alive that voted in an election more important than what's about to happen, including the primaries. Including the primaries. This is the blackest news you heard all day. I'm Mondell Robinson. Y'all have a good evening. Not before you think about it.